In this world, everyone has a tumor growing out of their head. And the moment emotions spiral out of control, that tumor explodes. To survive, Chang Yimou has spent his life suppressing every outburst, enduring the madness of those around him. But today, something changed because of her. For the first time, he witnessed a different outcome. Instead of dying, the headless President Zhang turned into a monster. And it was that woman who pointed it out. The one who's been calm and rational all along is actually the most infected of them all. It all began when Chang Yimou was 10. That was the first time he saw a tumor on his mother's head. He thought it was just a hallucination, a side effect of grief after losing his father. But then his mom started losing her temper more and more, and the tumor just kept growing, until one day it exploded. It wasn't until years later that Chang Yimou learned this was a disease, a condition known as emotion sickness. From that moment on, he never allowed himself to get angry again. But today, a single sentence from that woman shattered his control, because for the first time, he heard the true cause of his mother's death. It happened during a company party at Skybound Studios' art department. Director Zhang Yanfei blew up over a seeded watermelon and warm wine, cursing at his assistant. But the assistant, Wu Jingjing, snapped back. "Then don't eat it. You got so many problems, just go die." That outburst sparked a chain reaction. "Can you all shut up? It's a party, not a damn battleground." Trying to calm things down, Chang Yimou quickly stepped in. "Let's cool off. Director Zhang, I'll get you a new drink and watermelon." Jingjing, I apologize on his behalf. But without warning, Zhang smashed a wine bottle at his head. "The hell does this have to do with you?" The room fell into dead silence. You could hear a pin drop. And just like that, the tantrum faded and Zhang Yanfei regained his calm. Director Zhang clung to Chang Yimou, apologizing over and over. Only when Chang Yimou calmly said, "It's really fine," did he finally let go. As long as everyone calms down. Soon, the party was back in full swing. Laughter returned. Meanwhile, Chang Yimou stood in the corner, quietly wiping blood from his forehead. Yi Li, a female co-worker who often flirted with him, blinked in disbelief. "That's it? You're just gonna let it go? You're something else." He gave a helpless smile. "What choice do I have? I'm probably the only normal one in this whole department. Besides, you've seen it too, right? The real reason they all lose control are the sacs growing on their heads." Right then, Director Zhang started another shouting match with someone else. And this time, the tumor on his head had grown much bigger. It was on the verge of exploding. Chang Yimou sighed and stepped forward again, ready to intervene. But Yi Li stopped him with a sharp observation. "You don't actually care if they live or die, do you?" He paused, then replied flatly, "No. But if someone dies, it becomes a huge mess." The very next second, Zhang's tumor reached its limit, and instead of dying, he transformed into a terrifying, monstrous creature. That scene shattered everything Chang Yimou thought he knew. The man arguing with Director Zhang shouted, "You think barking like a dog scares me?" Before he could finish, his upper body vanished. Instantly, chaos erupted. Screams filled the air as everyone scrambled to escape. But Chang Yimou stood frozen, still trying to make sense of what he'd just seen. Why did Zhang turn into a monster? But my mom died when hers exploded. Yi Li noticed his daze and quickly pulled him away. "Come on, we got to move. Didn't you know? When the sacs burst, people don't die. They become emotion monsters, creatures completely consumed by their feelings. And through them, they can unleash supernatural powers to vent their rage and pain." "Then why did my mom die?" he pressed. Yi Li only said, "Just wait. You'll see soon enough." Sure enough, Zhang's head exploded again. And this time, he didn't get back up. He collapsed to the ground, motionless. The crowd stood in stunned silence. Did you guys see that? Director Zhang's head, it just exploded out of nowhere. Chang Yimou furrowed his brows. "Wait, they really didn't see it?" Yi Li nodded. "That's right. Normal people can't see any of it. Not Zhang's transformation into a monster. Not the creature that devoured his head. None of it. And that is how your mother truly died. Just like Zhang, she mutated into an emotion monster, only to be devoured by another. To be more precise, she was eaten by someone who can control emotion monsters. These creatures are spiritually linked to their masters. Track the monster, and you'll find the one pulling the strings. Then Chang Mo's eyes widened. The man standing near Zhang's body looked familiar. Wait, wasn't that Lu Jia, my childhood neighbor? Yi Li's face darkened. Correct. On the surface, he's now the vice president of Langchao International. But behind the scenes, he commands emotion monsters to devour humans. This whole incident, all orchestrated by him. He spreads emotional viruses, drives people into frenzies, and once they mutate into emotion monsters, he hunts them down to feed his power. From the moment you stepped into this party, you walked straight into his hunting ground. And based on my intel, his first prey was your mother. Your mother lost control because he infected her with an anger-based emotional virus, then let his emotion monster devour her. The man who destroyed your family was him. But to Yi Li's surprise, Chang Mo didn't explode with rage. Instead, he calmly asked, "So, he only targets people who've already mutated into emotion monsters?" Once she confirmed it, Chang Mo turned to leave. "Then I'm safe. I'll never be infected because I'm always rational." Yi Li blinked in disbelief. "That's it? You're walking away? He killed your mother. Aren't you going to do anything?" But Chang Mo stayed calm. Charging in now would be suicide, and this was all just her word. "Wow, you're disturbingly calm. But let me ask you, what makes you think you're not sick?" Chang Mo froze in place. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying, you're actually the most infected one of all." And in that moment, a massive tumor emerged, pulsing above Chang Mo's head. From the very beginning, Lu Jia's true target was you. The one he's most desperate to mutate, the one he wants to devour most, is you. Just then, Lu Jia casually walked up, patting Chang Mo on the shoulder. "Hey there, little Chang. Long time no see. Look at you all grown up." Chang Mo turned around calmly. "Sorry, you must have the wrong person." Lu Jia chuckled. "Haha, always the funny one. Come on, let's catch up a bit. I know this might sound rude, but could you do me a little favor?" "Would you mind getting angry?" he said before suddenly driving a hard kick into Chang Mo's gut, sending him flying several meters. The noise instantly drew the attention of nearby employees. "What the hell? Did he just hit Chang? I didn't catch it. What happened?" "Seriously? After what happened to Director Zhang, this guy starts more drama." Yi Li rushed over and helped him up. "Are you okay?" Lu Jia sneered. "Tisich, no reaction? You really don't give a damn about yourself? Huh? In that case," with a snap of his fingers, sparks began to flicker on the body of a nearby colleague. And in the next moment, the entire person burst into flames. The sudden blaze sent the crowd into a panic. "What's going on? That side's on fire too. Could it be a gas leak?" Lu Jia smirked darkly. "I just burned your co-workers alive. Does that make you angry? Weren't they always nice to you? Didn't expect you to be just 18. So young, already working. Want me to set you up with someone? My sister's still in college. Or hey, if you don't mind, I could do. I'm only a year older. Haha, kidding. Or am I? Little Chang, let's grab lunch later, all right? Don't worry about the bill. I already paid. You're just starting out, after all." Even as they were being reduced to burnt husks, their final words were, "Chang Mo." One by one, they were all consumed by the flames, leaving nothing behind. But in Lu Jia's eyes, it was no different from squashing ants. "They're all ashes now, and you're still not reacting? You really are something. But don't bother lying to me. I can see it. Your rage sac is swelling. No rush. Take your time. After all, I haven't even told you yet. I'm the one who killed your mom. Let's see how long you can keep pretending." Deep down, Chang Mo always knew he wasn't as calm as he looked. Whether it was his emotionally unstable co-workers or those random strangers looking for trouble, he constantly felt the urge to lash out, to tear them apart. But he never acted on it, because he knew their outbursts weren't intentional. The guilt in their eyes, the regret after the rage. It always triggered memories from his past. The image of his mother, crying and apologizing after every episode, losing control, drowning in emotions. All it ever led to was regret. That's why he kept himself chained, repeating to himself, stay calm, stay rational. That's how it's always been. But now, what reason did he have to stay rational anymore? Why not give in, become a monster, tear Lu Jia to pieces, and finally avenge his mother and friends? It's not like he had anything left to lose. But then why? Why was he still holding back? Why hadn't he transformed, despite being consumed by rage? Yi Li's eyes widened in shock. You want to mutate? If you do, you'll be killed. And what? Not mutating means I'll survive. Chang Mo growled. Then I might as well lose it and go down swinging. Yi Li fell silent, her voice heavy with regret. I know it's hard to hear, but the truth is, you can't mutate. Not anymore. Lu Jia looked over annoyed. Seriously? He's still muttering to himself? What is he doing? Trying to talk himself down? Fine. Guess it's time I taught you a real lesson. But his words struck a chord in Chang Mo's mind. Self-talk? Wait a minute. You finally realized it. In the next moment, Yi Li began to shift, her form fading, the illusion unraveling. From the very beginning, you were the only one who could see me. Chang Mo's mind raced, trying to make sense of it. But before he could act, Lu Jia's attack was already crashing down. Suddenly, Lu Jia froze. His eyes widened in shock as he stared ahead. In Chang Mo's mind, Yi Li's voice echoed. The reason you couldn't transform before is because the moment you saw me, you were already infected by me, and you became an emotion monster of rationality. Lu Jia's jaw dropped as he saw what stood before him. A creature bound in heavy chains, with a pitch-black void where its face should be. What the hell is that thing? Even Chang Mo stood stunned. That thing was his emotion monster? Wait, rationality counts as an emotion? And if I already transformed long ago, why could I only see it now? And this woman, I thought she was just a co-worker. But she's the one who infected me, the one who caused this change. Who is she really? As if reading his thoughts, Yi Li said softly, I know you have questions, but there's no time for all the answers right now. Just know this. Rationality is the most unique emotion of all. It has the power to suppress every other emotion, including Lu Jia's rage. And as for why you couldn't see your own emotion monster before, it's simple, she added. In this world, you can only see what you're aware of. Lu Jia's composure cracked. No, this is bad. His monster isn't clinging to him. It's standing far away. That means he's not a slave to it. He's like me. He's become an emotive entity, someone who controls the monster. But don't get cocky just yet, Lu Jia sneered. You think a freshly awakened monster like yours can take me on? With a roar, Lu Jia launched a blazing fireball straight at Chang Mo. But the very next second, his eyes widened in shock. The attack passed right through. Chang Mo looked just as confused, but Yi Li quickly explained, you can't control your emotion monster yet. That means it can't interact with the real world. Right now, it's more like a projection. It's not truly here, not physically. Lu Jia's eyes narrowed as realization dawned. So that thing's still trapped in your mindscape. You haven't synced with it at all. Chang Mo, you're dead. With another snarl, he hurled a second fireball. But this one was different. It shifted in midair, transforming into a flaming beast that bit down on Chang Mo's head. And yet, something was wrong. No matter how hard it bit, the fire creature couldn't pierce Chang Mo's skull at all. From the side, Yi Li calmly explained, because you've suppressed your anger for so long, your rationality has built an incredibly high resistance to rage. That kind of attack, it's like a tickle to you. Now, it was Lu Jia's turn to panic. You arrogant bastard. Don't get cocky with me, he shouted. He roared and sent the flaming beast soaring into the air, dragging Chang Mo up with it. Chang Mo tensed. His attacks can't hurt me, but I still can't control my monster, which means I'm stuck on defense. But Yi Li called out, the solution's simple. Just borrow power from your emotion monster. And in the next instant, under Lu Jia's stunned gaze, Chang Yimou unleashed a blast of rationality, detonating the flaming creature into 1,000 sparks. Lu Jia himself was blown backwards, crashing hard into the ground. Meanwhile, Chang Yimou landed effortlessly, completely unscathed, and in his hand was a shard of borrowed power from his rational emotion monster. Sharp, steady, and devastatingly precise. Lu Jia was in full panic now. I get it. He borrowed power from his emotion monster. But just 2 fingers and he shattered my monster? No way. He's a newly awakened emotional entity. There's no way. I need to escape. If I can just get off this boat, run. But there was no way Chang Yimou was letting him go. In the next second, he launched forward, charging straight at Lu Jia like a bullet. Still, a question lingered in his mind. Wait, didn't I destroy his emotion monster? Then how is he still using fire-based attacks? Yili answered calmly. Emotion monsters don't die so easily. They simply stop existing in this world for now. Meanwhile, the chase had taken him outside, onto the deck. It was only now that Chang Yimou realized they were on a massive luxury cruise ship, the world-famous Sea Emperor. And at that very moment, the Sea Emperor was sailing through the coastal waters just off Donghai City. Just then, Yili urgently warned, chasing down an emotional entity on this cruise ship is incredibly dangerous. According to public info, the Sea Emperor is a world-famous cruise liner. Its routes span the globe, and right now, it's docked off the coast of Donghai City, one of the hottest tourist spots around. After Donghai's waters turned pitch black from the oil disaster, only a handful of vessels were allowed in. The Sea Emperor is one of them. Skybound Group really went all out, huh? Throwing a department party here for your art team? But here's the thing. This ship isn't just a resort. It's run by emotional entities. They trade here. They live here. And they're served here. One of their premium services? Hunting regular humans. So attacking an emotion body here? That's like picking a fight with the owners of the Sea Emperor. And Lu Jia? He's one of their VIP elites. How powerful is this ship security? Put it this way, one finger from the wrong guy, and you're dead. So finish this quickly. If you don't, you'll never get another chance. And you can't afford the backlash. Hearing that, Chang Mo's eyes sharpened. He surged forward like a bullet, blasting toward Lu Jia with everything he had. Meanwhile, inside the VIP lounge of the Sea Emperor, a few guests were admiring a grotesque art piece made entirely of a young girl's bones. Victor Lee of the Wild Frontier Consortium stood proudly. Allow me to introduce this work, The Sad Girl. After her death, her skin was peeled back, revealing a skeleton that, ironically, appears to be laughing. The juxtaposition between death and joy gives a tremendous visual impact. He added with a smirk, but here's the special part. This isn't a replica. It's a real girl. And not just anyone. She was the daughter of a prime minister. Today, I present this gift to the Sea Emperor. Thank you for facilitating our most promising partnership. Captain Liu Yang responded courteously. Your group just secured the Stalnik market, and you already sent over the prime minister's daughter? Ruthless and impressive. Anna Chris of the Ugly Duckling Survival Club took a slow drag of her cigarette. I'd heard the prime minister was unwilling to cooperate. But this? Gotta admit, creative punishment. Miss Song Hui, second daughter of the powerful Song family from Daxia, nodded in admiration. Say what you will, this is real taste. To become art of this caliber, that girl should feel honored. Zhao Yin, the bishop of the cult Black Chain in Donghai, chuckled. I'm curious, you're already eyeing Daxia? Victor Lee shrugged. That's business. Evolve or die. With the competition heating up, we've got to strike early. As for Daxia, I'll be counting on your cooperation. Suddenly, a voice cut in. My lords, Lu Jia has already killed Skybound Group's art director. But there's been a complication. He got cocky and tried to hunt a second target, but that prey mutated and is now beating Lu Jia half to death. Miss Song Hui scoffed. Useless trash. If he weren't tied to that esteemed figure, do you really think a weakling like him would be allowed to hunt freely on this ship? Victor Lee raised an eyebrow. This esteemed figure you all keep mentioning, who is it exactly? Song Hui Hui replied coolly. For the sake of smooth cooperation, I'd suggest not asking questions. Captain Liu Yang chimed in. To overpower Liu Jia right after transforming, that's quite the talent. Fine, don't let Liu Jia die just yet. He's only a pawn, clueless as he is, but we owe that figure some respect. Also lock down the deck. No other emotion entities are to approach. Let the regular people run if they want. As for the one attacking Liu Jia, no known background? Wipe him out. Back on deck, Liu Jia was already barely breathing, bloodied, battered, and barely conscious. And just as Chong Mo prepared to deliver the finishing blow, Liu Jia cried out in panic. Are you insane? You're really going to kill me here? On this ship? Seeing that Chong Mo wasn't backing down, Liu Jia panicked. Wait, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Spare me, and I'll do anything you want. But Chong Mo's steps didn't falter. His eyes cold as steel. Liu Jia screamed, Your mother? I know who really killed your mother. If you kill me, you'll never find out the truth. He thought that would be enough to stop Chong Mo. He even felt a moment of relief. Until in the blink of an eye, Chong Mo's claw tore straight into his arm. After venting his fury, Chong Mo growled, Wasn't it you who killed my mother? No, it's not what you think. Liu Jia shouted. Back when you lived in Old Street, there was an emotional entity living there. He spread emotion sickness in secret, then hunted the newly awakened emotion monsters. I was infected by him. That's how I became one of them. But he didn't kill me. He helped me stabilize and made me his servant. He forced me to infect others, push them into transformation, then killed them. He harvested their emotion energy to grow stronger himself. Chong Mo narrowed his eyes. Then who is he? And where is he now? Liu Jia suddenly broke in a crazed laughter. Ha! He's someone untouchable now. If he finds out you killed me, you're dead too. He is. But right before the name escaped his lips, Liu Jia froze. His face twisted in pure terror. No, I can't. If I say it, that man, he'll never let me live. Chong Mo had had enough. With a cold glare, he raised his claws, ready to finish Liu Jia once and for all. But just as the strike was about to land, a figure appeared out of thin air, a sharply dressed butler. His lips moved softly. I command your heart to stop beating. In the very next moment, Chong Mo's heart seized, locked in place by an invisible force. His body stiffened, then dropped like a stone to the deck, lifeless. The butler calmly adjusted his gloves, then turned to Liu Jia and bowed slightly. Apologies, sir. I arrived late. Realizing the butler was on his side, Liu Jia's confidence surged back instantly. He stomped on Chong Mo's head and sneered. What's the matter, huh? Weren't you all high and mighty? Come on, kill me now. But just as the words left his mouth, Chong Mo twitched. In a flash, he shot upright, causing Liu Jia to yelp and scramble behind the butler in panic. The butler frowned, visibly confused. Why are you still alive? Chong Mo was just as confused. What just happened to me? Thanks to Yi Li's explanation, he finally understood. The butler had used the power of a pride-type emotion monster, issuing a direct command to his heart. Stop beating. Chong Mo's eyes widened. That's insane. Isn't that basically invincible? Yi Li nodded. His emotion monster is 2 major tiers above yours. You had no way to resist his command. If your emotional alignment weren't rationality, which naturally resists other emotions, you'd be dead by now. That man is an opponent you absolutely cannot defeat right now. Chong Mo frowned. Then why can't I see his emotion monster? Yi Li replied. Same reason you couldn't see yours before. His monster is deep within the mind realm, the place where emotion monsters primarily reside. Your monster had lingered near the boundary between the mind realm and the real world, which is why Liu Jia could see it. But once an emotion monster sinks fully into the mind realm, it becomes nearly impossible to detect. At that moment, Lu Jia sneered and turned to the butler. TCH, this guy's got some luck. Not dead yet. Even better. You know what to do. The butler nodded slightly and muttered under his breath, I command you, kneel. In the next instant, Chong Mo's body buckled. He dropped to his knees without any control. He couldn't move. Not a finger. Not even blink in resistance. Yili explained quietly. That's the nature of a pride-type emotion monster. The less harmful the command, the harder it is to resist. And with that level difference, you never stood a chance. Now, that pathetic excuse of a man, Lu Jia, strode up to Chong Mo, grinning. Without a word, he slapped Chong Mo hard across the face. Then he leaned in, mocking, What happened, huh? Weren't you tough? Out for revenge? Your mom was just a bottom feeder. We emotion types can do whatever we want to her. And since you seem so curious, allow me to repay your little outburst earlier by walking you through exactly what happened the day your mother transformed. I remember it perfectly. The day your mom transformed, she was unusually calm. She wasn't under emotional influence. She bought groceries, cooked dinner, wanted to apologize for losing her temper earlier. Tomato braised beef, right? Your favorite. Too bad the whole floor was soaked in blood. Even the ceiling had splatter. The stew burned to a crisp. She became a target because that lord, casually joked, why not make the next prey that single mom next door? At first, I objected. Your mom was kind. Back when I was broke, she used to bring me food. But watching her unravel, watching you fall from peace into ruin, I started to enjoy it. That feeling of controlling someone's life, tearing their joy away. If I say she transforms, she transforms. If I say she's food, then she becomes food. Those words ignited something in Chong. Mo fury boiled over. He struggled to rise and rip Lu Jia apart. But the butler moved first, raising his hand, and Chong Mo's body froze mid-motion. Then came the next command. I order you, kneel. Bow your head. Apologize to Lu Jia. And once again, Chong Mo collapsed to his knees, his body betraying him, forced to bow and slam his forehead to the ground. At that moment, Lu Jia turned to the butler and said smugly, That's enough. Now, I want him to make the choice himself. I'm giving you a chance. Swear loyalty. Become my dog. Bark twice and you live. Otherwise, D. Suddenly, Yi Li's voice echoed in Chong Mo's mind. So what will you do? He was silent for a moment, then turned the question back. Shouldn't I be asking you that? You're the one who made me an emotion monster. You know too much about Lu Jia, this ship, everything. You saw all of this coming, didn't you? Staring straight into her eyes, his voice was calm but unyielding. Just tell me what you really want. Whatever it is, I'll do it. Yi Li smiled faintly and stepped forward, wrapping her arms around him from behind. You only have to do one thing. Accept my power. In the blink of an eye, the smug and taunting Lu Jia was blasted across the deck, sent flying by a terrifying surge of power erupting from Chong Mo. A crystalline formation shimmered atop his head. Something entirely new, something beyond emotion. Lu Jia and the butler both froze, thinking he had finally lost control. But what they didn't know was that Chong Mo's consciousness had already descended into a realm of pure void. Sadness, joy, surprise, excitement. None of it remained. All emotion gone. All that was left was cold, perfect calculation. His emotional sac materialized before him, solid, physical, and whole. But then it shattered into a million pieces scattered across the darkness. And from those shards emerged memories, warm, peaceful moments with his mother. Then the pain, his father's funeral, the coffin lowering into the earth. His mother's breakdowns, her screams, her rage, her smashed dishes. Then the apologies, her tears as she held him, whispering she was sorry. Then her corpse, cold, lifeless, and beside it, that monster Lu Jia, smirking like a god. But those memories didn't break him. No, they reforged him. In that space of nothingness, Chang Mo evolved. He became something entirely new. Staring at his reflection in the void, Chang Mo almost didn't recognize himself. This version of him felt foreign, and yet, right? Yi Li's voice echoed in his mind, calm and knowing. Good. Your sack held enough rage to anchor you. That's the only reason you were able to retain your identity when channeling my power. Remember this. When the moment comes, you must let go of your rationality. That's the only way to wield rational power. Otherwise, it will consume you. You'll become a monster ruled by logic itself. Now go and enjoy your revenge. As her words faded, the crystalline growth on Chang Mo's head exploded, shards of light raining outward like falling stars. Then came the blue flames, surging from his body in waves, until they collapsed inward, folding into him, concentrating into a dense aura that made the air tremble. But seeing his energy suddenly vanish, Lu Jia burst out laughing. That's it? All that build-up, and you just farted out a blue puff? What a damn letdown. But the butler didn't share Lu Jia's smugness. His expression darkened. He knew what had just happened. Chang Mo's energy hadn't disappeared. No, it had transcended. His emotional power had reached a level so high, they could no longer perceive it. At that very moment, deep within the VIP lounge, the elites aboard the Sea Emperor all felt it, a wave of invisible pressure washing over them. That pressure, it could only belong to a world-class emotion entity. Victor Lee narrowed his eyes. Didn't expect another world tier aboard. You think they're here for us? Miss Song Huihui speculated, could be an ally of the one beating Lu Jia. Or maybe someone targeting that man directly. But Captain Liu Yang remained composed. No need for concern. It doesn't matter who they are. If they dare disrespect the Sea Emperor, even a world class won't leave here alive. Back on the deck, Lu Jia's face twisted in disbelief after hearing the butler's words. His level? Beyond our perception? Are you kidding me? Him? That weakling? The butler spoke grimly. I didn't want to believe it either. But it's the truth. You can't sense it, but I can barely see it. It's above us, like a walking cataclysm. That kind of presence, it's the same as the top-tier elites. That's world-class pressure. The butler yelled, "Run, now," but it was already too late. In a blink, Chang Mo moved. And just like that, both of them were dead, heads ripped clean off like trash. He muttered under his breath, that was too easy." Yi Li's voice echoed with a teasing tone. Starting off by ripping off their heads? A bit dramatic, don't you think? Chang Mo replied coldly, "You're right. I didn't do it well enough. I should have taken my time." Yi Li chuckled. "Good. That kind of extremity is exactly what's needed to wield my power. But don't get comfortable just yet. The real show has only just begun." As she spoke, glowing blue emotional currents began to weave beneath Chang Mo's feet, sprawling outward like a ritual circle. He looked up, and there was a throne. Seated atop it, an emotion monster radiating dominance. Its form exuded a pressure that distorted reality. This wasn't just power, it was sovereignty. Chang Mo stared at the massive being before him, his voice low and wary. "What is that?" Yi Li responded coolly. "Ever wonder why this ship hasn't taken a scratch during your entire battle with Lu Jia? It's because this ship is an emotion entity. What you're seeing now, that's its true form. In a world of emotional energy, how much you can perceive depends entirely on your power. Right now, you're only seeing this because you're using my strength to barely pierce the veil. This is the real power behind the Sea Emperor. That throne-bound beast is the captain's personal emotion monster." At that moment, the captain stepped forward, radiating arrogance. "So you're the so-called world tier brat who refuses to die. Let's change that." Then, in eerie unison with the emotion monster, he began to chant. "Across the cosmos, between heaven and earth, all transgressions shall be punished. Let all things bow, let all obey. Any act of defiance shall be paid in blood." Chang Mo's eyes widened. He's using incantation, to amplify his command power. The moment the incantation ended, the captain gave his command. By my decree, condense the space around the intruder. Instantly, a massive sphere of golden energy slammed shut around Chong Mo and his emotion monster, sealing them inside like a divine prison. But it wasn't over. The captain continued chanting, by the golden blade, let judgment be cast. By my decree, within this field, all emotional energy shall be halved. A swarm of golden energy blades rained down, stabbing toward Chong Mo and his rationality-based emotion monster like a divine execution. With a sneer, the captain finally spoke, pathetic. The elites in the VIP lounge nodded in agreement. That was fast. This world tears still green. Strange monster, though. Never seen that type of emotion before. Must be one of those obscure alignments. But with his power halved, even another world tier couldn't recover from this. It's only a matter of time now before the captain orders his capture. But just as those words left their mouths, a sharp crack echoed through the air. The golden prison around Chong Mo began to fracture. The room fell silent. Eyes widened in disbelief. Even the ship's captain, stoic and arrogant, visibly flinched, his pupils narrowing in shock. In the very next second, Chong Mo's emotion monster tore through the golden prison like it was paper. With a sharp swing of his hand, a torrent of emotional energy erupted from his rational form, crashing down like a waterfall. In an instant, the Sea Emperor vessel was swallowed whole by the blast. The captain stood frozen, eyes wide, completely stunned. Now, only Chong Mo's emotion monster hovered above the waves, riding the violent aftershock. As the energy began to fade, the captain looked down and his jaw clenched. Half of his prized golden energy construct had vanished. He glared at the power rising off Chong Mo like a storm, fear finally creeping into his eyes. What the hell is this monster? He broke free under a sealed command? Did he come here for me? Or for the organization backing me? The thought barely lasted a moment, before fury replaced fear. Doesn't matter why he came. Anyone who dares challenge my authority dies. The captain roared, guards. In an instant, the emotion monster behind him split into countless soldier forms, charging at Chong Mo like a swarm of ants. They surrounded his rational form from all directions. But no matter how many came, Chong Mo's emotion monster cut them down one by one, each slash an instant kill. The captain, panicking, shouted again, stop him. Suddenly, Chong Mo's body froze mid-air. Just like the butler's earlier command, he was completely paralyzed. Before he could break free, dozens of spears pierced through his body with brutal force. But that kind of attack barely scratched him. With a furious roar, Chong Mo unleashed a devastating strike. The soldier army burst apart like shattered glass, obliterated by a single blow. Meanwhile, Chong Mo's emotion monster had slaughtered the golden colossus, stepping forward with a blood-soaked bronze blade, closing in on the captain. The captain panicked, hurriedly chanting the command, stop, but it was too late. The massive blade struck him hard, sending him crashing down from the sky in utter disgrace. As soon as he hit the ground, Chong Mo dashed in like lightning. Yet the captain, a world-class fighter, recovered in a flash, regaining his composure. With a cold glare, he summoned his emotion beast once more and launched it straight at Chong Mo. Unfazed, Chong Mo had his rational emotion monster intercepted head-on. His strategy was clear: have his monster stall the captain's, while he focused on taking down the captain himself. 2.5 minutes later, their monsters were locked in a fierce battle. But Chong Mo's was clearly on the losing end. At the same time, Chong Mo himself was running out of steam, his breath starting to falter. The experienced captain instantly caught onto Chong Mo's weakness. A wicked grin curled on his lips. He's losing steam. This is my win. There aren't many places to run on the open sea. If I can capture him alive and uncover the truth about his emotion monster. That'd be a major win for the entire organization. Just then, Yili's voice rang beside Chong Mo. Bad news, my power's almost drained. What? Chong Mo panicked. What do we do now? What else? We run. Before he could protest, the chain linked to his rational emotion monster yanked him back. He turned around and bolted. At this point, there was only one option left: jump into the sea. The captain yelled in disbelief. Is this guy insane? He's heading that way. As Chong Mo plunged deeper into the ocean, the true face of the world started to surface. The so-called oil-polluted deep sea wasn't pollution at all. It was the lair of a colossal sea monster. As Chong Mo turned his head toward the city, his heart clenched. What once was a familiar city had already become a nest of monsters. Humanity had been living side by side with monsters all along, without even knowing it. It was only now that Chong Mo truly understood. He used to think everyone else was just sick, but he was wrong. Not just the people. The oceans, the land, the skies, even the cities, they were all diseased. The captain noticed something strange. What the hell? His eyes, they're bleeding? Wait, I get it now, he muttered. The truth is too much for him. That power, it's borrowed. His own rank isn't high enough to handle it. Kid, you're dead. Just then, Yili embraced Chong Mo and whispered, close your eyes. You may be seeing glimpses of the truth through my authority, but your current self can't bear it. So now, let me take over your body. As her voice fell, their bodies began to merge. And once again, Chong Mo transformed into a towering, emotional beast. The captain stood frozen, stunned by what he was seeing. Chong Mo now commanded an enormous creature, charging straight at him. The Black Sea. He can control the Black Sea? That's impossible, the captain stammered in disbelief. But before he could react, boom, a monstrous form born from the Black Sea crashed down, slamming into the captain's emotional creature with earth-shattering force. In the blink of an eye, Chong Mo had safely drifted ashore. Are you okay? Yili asked softly. Yeah, he replied, nodding. Just then, a strange phenomenon occurred. A pair of glasses materialized out of thin air and settled onto his face. Chong Mo was stunned. What the hell? Why did these suddenly appear? Yili explained calmly. It's your subconscious at work. The glasses represent your rationality. Once your emotions settle, that rational part of you takes control again. That's when the glasses return. Taking a deep breath, Chong Mo asked, Donghai City, and that thing in the sky. What the hell is happening to this world? The world has already changed beyond recognition, Yili said with a somber look. You were just too low level to realize it. The news claimed Donghai was polluted by oil. In reality, the contamination came from emotional entities. Years ago, a catastrophic battle broke out. A world-level depression entity went berserk. Her body turned into thick, black liquid, swallowing fleets of aircraft carriers and warships. That face you saw was her true form. As for Donghai City, these days, entire regions are ruled by emotional monsters. It's not unusual. That ship you were on, and even your own emotional creature, it's all the same. As for that thing in the sky, if I'm right, that's... But strangely, Chong Mo didn't catch the rest. What? What are you saying? Yili looked puzzled. You can't hear it? That proves it. Whatever that thing is, your current soul just isn't built to comprehend it. If you try to force it, your mind will break. Chong Mo muttered to himself. So, this is the truth behind emotional illness? That so-called sickness is just the tip of the iceberg. Yili's voice grew soft. I saved you, yes, but I also showed you the truth of this world. For a tiny ant like you, dying in ignorance might have been kinder. Because from now on, peace is no longer an option. Battle and chaos will follow you everywhere. She hesitated, then asked quietly, I'm the one who pulled you into this storm. Do you resent me for it? Chong Mo gave a faint smile. No, actually I'm grateful. I know you've got your own agenda, but I've never felt this alive before. It's like I've been reborn. So tell me, Who are you really? And what exactly do you want from me? I'm just a wandering soul, she said softly. For years, I've drifted through this city. No one could see me. No one ever spoke to me. As my rationality faded, so did my strength and my memories. I can't even remember who I really was. Only my name remained. I was like a dying flame without fuel, destined to vanish. Until I met you. That day, you bumped into me on the street and said, "Excuse me, I'm going to be late." You're the only one who's ever spoken to me. The only one who could touch me. The only one capable of carrying my rational essence. If I was the dying flame, then you were the furnace that kept me burning. With you, I could hold on to myself. I could exist. That's why I got close to you. Why I pretended to be your colleague. Why I helped you investigate your mother's death. Why I fought with everything I had to protect you on the Sea Emperor. I will help you get everything you desire. Wealth, power, status, whatever you want. I'll make it happen. But in return, you must become stronger. Strong enough to face the truth in the sky. Strong enough to uncover what lies beyond. Because the most important part of me is up there. Let's start over. My name is Yi Li, and today marks my rebirth too. Changyamo, this is our rebirth. The scene shifts. Two figures stand on a sleek kayak, gazing out over the remains of the Sea Emperor drifting on the distant ocean. The woman asked, "Did you figure out who that guy was?" The man nodded. Surprisingly easy. Name, Changyamo, 18 years old. Works in the art department at Tianji Group in Donghai City. His mother died when he was 10, likely killed by Lu Jia. According to his company's annual medical records, he was just an ordinary person this March. The woman, revealed to be the second miss of the Song family, narrowed her eyes. Impossible. If he fought the Sea Emperor, he's at least world-class. No one gets that strong in just a few months. His power was probably borrowed. During the fight with the captain, his eyes started bleeding, probably after glimpsing that thing in the sky. If the power was truly his, he wouldn't have reacted like that. Interesting. To borrow power that can even control the Black Sea? Who's backing him? Didn't the captain ask us to look into this guy too? In that case, let's stall the report. Time ago, I'm not world-class yet, and staying up late is terrible for my skin. Miss Song, what about the boy? Don't worry. With the Song family's reach across the Federation, he won't get far. And whoever lent him that power won't escape either. This power will be ours. For our master. The next morning, Yili asked calmly, "So, what's your plan now?" Changmo's expression turned cold. Lu Jia may be dead, but the man he mentioned, the one who ordered my mother's death, is still out there. I have to find him. Yili didn't sugarcoat her response. That man is a dangerous one, a power hidden deep in the shadows. You're not ready to face someone like that. Not yet. What we need most right now is shelter. If I'm right, the forces behind the Sea Emperor are already hunting us, and I've burned through nearly all my power. If another world class shows up, we're done. And it's not just the grudge you've made. Your emotional power, what you showed back there, it's rare. Dangerous. Enough to drive entire factions insane. Just then, Chang Emo suddenly shouted, startling Yili, "What is it?" "Crap. I was supposed to go to work today. I totally forgot." He slapped his forehead. "And my entire project team's dead. Guess there's no project left anyway. Still, it would have been nice to keep getting paid without working. But now I've missed my shift. I'm basically AWOL. Probably getting fired, there goes my salary. How am I supposed to survive now?" Yili was left speechless by Chang Mo's sudden panic over getting fired. It was only now that he truly felt it. His old life was gone. There was no going back. "Come on," Yili said. "We're almost there. The place I mentioned, it's just ahead." Soon, the two arrived at their so-called sanctuary. But as Changyamo stepped inside and saw the drooling, vacant-eyed people wandering around, "This is your idea of a safe haven?" he asked, dumbfounded. "Exactly," Yili replied calmly. They had arrived at Donghai City's second psychiatric hospital. "Don't underestimate this place," she explained. "It might be remote, but this is an official government facility specifically for treating emotional disorders. And remember, Donghai is under Daxia's jurisdiction. The Daxia government is the strongest force here. People like you, who can control emotional monsters, might get recruited by the government itself. Besides, there's something special about this place. Too bad you can't see it yet. Chang Imo raised an eyebrow. Something special? Remember the giant emotional monsters you saw when you borrowed my power? One of them is stationed here. It guards this place. After that, Chang Imo went to the front desk, paid the fee, and had his blood drawn. The nurse handed him a clipboard and said, "Please wait a moment. Your results will be out shortly." As Chang Imo waited in the hospital lobby, his eyes scanned the surroundings. No wonder this place specializes in treating emotional disorders. None of the nurses have emotion sacks on their heads. Even most of the patients don't. That's rare. Then his gaze shifted to the man sitting next to him. Except this guy, but the sack on his head looks different from the ones I've seen before. Sensing his confusion, Yili leaned in and said calmly, "You've gone through a real transformation. The more you understand yourself, the stronger you become, and the more emotional forms you'll be able to perceive. You used to only see anger sacks. Now you're beginning to perceive other types too." She pointed at the man beside them. "That one's from the joy virus. It causes the infected to smile uncontrollably. No matter what happens, they just feel happy." Chang Imo nodded slowly, piecing things together. Things were finally starting to make a bit more sense. Just then, a girl's voice came from behind Chang Imo. "Hi, are you here for checkup too?" Chang Imo nodded. "Yeah, why?" The girl waved her hand. "No reason, you just seem pretty normal." Chang Imo chuckled. "Aren't you pretty normal yourself?" She rolled her eyes. "Of course I am. My parents were the ones who forced me to come. With all these emotional illness outbreaks lately, they freaked out and made me come for a checkup. They even threatened to throw away my entire collection if I didn't. You know, I looked up this Donghai City second psychiatric hospital online. Everyone calls it Hospital Number 2. It's specifically for really serious mental patients. I heard it's divided into Area A and Area B. The ones in Area A, already totally unstable. And Area B, way scarier. Total maniacs in there. People so dangerous they have to be chained up." Chang Imo looked confused. "What's the difference between Area A and Area B?" Yili explained, "If I'm right, Area A is for those who are infected but haven't fully transformed yet. Area B is for those who have transformed, actual emotional entities." Chang Imo asked the girl, "Then why'd you even come here in the first place?" She replied confidently, "Because if the second hospital turns me away, my parents will stop nagging. The first hospital might still take me, but the second? They deal with potential killers. There's no way they'd admit someone as normal as me." Soon, the test results were out. A nurse shouted while checking the names. "Zhang Quan, Li Gooden, your results are ready. You're advised to transfer to Donghai City First Psychiatric Hospital. Wang Bin, your prescription is ready. Don't forget to take your meds on time." The girl kept chatting with Chang Imo. "See, even those other patients who seem totally fine, this hospital won't admit them. We're way too normal. They'll probably just send us home." Just then, the nurse called out, "Chang Mo, Zhang Jieqi, come with me to complete your admission paperwork." Hearing their names, both Chang Imo and the girl froze. Zhang Jieqi yelled, "Wait, what? Why are we being admitted?" On the way to the front desk, the young nurse Zhou Yang smiled and said, "It's been ages since we had patients voluntarily come to the second hospital. You two are sharp. Choosing this place was a brilliant decision. The environment here is even better than a 5-star hotel. Super comfy. All meals are prepared by gourmet chefs. You might not want to leave once you settle in. So don't worry. Just relax and enjoy your recovery." Zhang Jieqi still couldn't believe it. "No way. This is the second psychiatric hospital. I'm actually being admitted? Am I really that abnormal?" The nurse tried to comfort her. Honestly, these days, who doesn't have a little mental strain? Early intervention just keeps things from getting worse. Chang Imo whispered to Yili, Is Zhang Jieqi a host to an emotion entity too? I didn't see her emotional creature. Could it be hiding inside her mental realm? That's right. Your current ability isn't strong enough to perceive creatures that reside deep in the heart realm. Then how did the hospital detect we're emotion hosts just from a blood test? If I remember correctly, it's because emotional entities make your blood unmeasurable by normal instruments. Technically, your blood becomes unreadable. As for how exactly that works, I've never seen their machines in action, so I can't say for sure. As the group moved deeper into the facility, armed guards began appearing on the upper levels. The atmosphere grew noticeably tense. Suddenly, Zhang Jieqi froze and shouted, "Wait a second. This is Area B, right? Isn't this where they lock up all the psychotic killers?" She grabbed the nurse's arm in panic, her voice trembling. "I swear, I've never had thoughts of killing anyone. Why are they putting me in Area B?" The nurse chuckled and reassured her, "Relax. Those horror videos online exaggerate everything. If it'll make it sound scary, how would they go viral? Just follow the treatment plan. Everything will be fine." "Really?" Zhang Jieqi asked nervously. The nurse smiled and nodded. "Of course." But as her eyes scanned the room, her expression suddenly changed. "Wait a minute, you all. Why are all of you carrying guns?" At that moment, the guards on the upper floor silently took position, aiming sniper rifles toward them. Chang Mo's heart tensed. Did they all see it too? Is that Zhang Jieqi's emotional parasite? He couldn't help but ask Yili, "What happens to the patients who aren't accepted by the official system?" Yili gave a faint smile. "They're usually locked up. If they show signs of being dangerous, they might be dealt with on the spot. So, whatever you do, don't make any sudden moves." Just when everyone thought Zhang Jieqi was about to lose control, Chang Mo gently patted her on the shoulder. "Jieqi, take it easy. Relax. If you stay this tense, they might really mistake you for a threat and shoot you." Comforted by his words, Zhang Jieqi gradually calmed down. At the same time, the emotional parasites surrounding her began to fade away. She glanced back at Chang Mo and murmured, "Yeah, you're probably right." Then she turned to the nurse and said, "Sorry, I overreacted just now." The nurse finally let out a quiet sigh of relief. Her parasite has retreated into her mindscape. She was right at the edge of losing control and somehow pulled herself back. Yili looked at Chang Mo with a trace of surprise. "I didn't expect that. She's a total stranger, yet you still cared enough to stabilize her with your rational power." Chang Mo replied calmly, "I just wanted to look a bit compassionate. If I stood there coldly while she was about to get shot, wouldn't that make me seem heartless? No way the authorities would recruit an emotionless parasite like that." But in the very next moment, just as everyone let their guard down, the nurse suddenly spoke in her radio. "Fire!" Bang! A single shot echoed. Zhang Jieqi collapsed instantly. Chang Mo's expression didn't even flicker. It was as if none of it had anything to do with him. Yili leaned closer and whispered, "Hey, show some reaction. You're looking a bit too dead inside." Chang Mo frowned slightly. Zoned out again. Another one down. How many is that now? It's starting to feel normal. But he quickly noticed something was off. There was no blood on the ground. It seemed Zhang Jieqi wasn't dead after all. That was a tranquilizer round. He sighed in relief. "Tranquilizer?" Yili chuckled. "Nice acting. Just a little slow." "Sorry," Chang Mo replied flatly. "I'll do better next time." On the other side, the nurse instructed 2 staff members, "Take her away. Unidentified emotional entity, unstable state. Treat as high-risk containment." "Thanks for the help." Chang Mo frowned. "High risk? What does that mean for her?" The nurse smiled sweetly. "Just means we need to watch her a bit more closely. You weren't scared just now, were you? You seemed awfully calm. How about I run a quick assessment for you two? Just a few questions." "Assessment?" Chang Mo raised an eyebrow. "Sure, go ahead. Did you come here on your own for the checkup?" "That's pretty rare," the nurse asked. "Can you tell me what made you decide to visit a psychiatric facility?" "Well," Chang Mo replied earnestly, "at first I started seeing things no one else could, these sacks on people's heads and monsters. Then I began to feel some kind of power, something invisible to others. He raised his hand and pointed to his palm. I think it might be a hallucination, so I came to get it checked. This thing in my hand, can you see it? The nurse froze in place, eyes wide as she stared at Changmo's palm. Well, that's unexpected. I need to report this right away. Without hesitation, she quietly stepped back and spoke in her radio again. Open fire. Bang! A single shot rang out. Chang Mo dropped to the ground. The nurse finally let out a long breath. What's going on today? Two unknown types of emotional entities in one day. Scared me to death. Nice shot. Oldly right on target. Someone nearby chuckled. Good work, everyone. But hey, why'd we shoot the last guy too? He looked pretty normal. The nurse shook her head. Those are the scariest ones. I reviewed the hospital surveillance footage earlier. He hit it well, but his subtle body language gave him away. What kind of body language? He was talking to someone invisible. That's classic dissociative identity disorder. The personality he shows now seems mild, but the other one might be extremely dangerous. And his emotional powers, they're unlike anything we've seen. What's worse, when he used those powers, no emotional entity appeared. That means he's already learned to control it. A dissociative patient with full command of an unknown emotional force? Way more dangerous than that girl. We had to take him down immediately. The nurse let out a breath. All right, call someone to take him away. But before she could finish, Chang Mo suddenly sprang up from the ground. The nurse gasped in shock. What? How are you still conscious? The intercom blared. Target is active again. Target is active. Level 1 alert. Level 1 alert. In an instant, countless armed guards swarmed the area surrounding them. Yeli sighed. I was just about to tell you not to get up so soon. Chang Mo's eyes narrowed as he made a firm decision. Well then, he raised both hands and shouted, Don't shoot. I surrender. I surrender. His calm and straightforward surrender stunned the heavily armed guards on edge. The nurse finally relaxed. Phew, that should settle it for now. Soon, Chang Mo's hands were tightly bound by a special chain. The nurse explained cheerfully, Yes, you've awakened some unique powers, but this chain suppresses all emotional abilities. You're no different from an ordinary person now, though I admit it's a bit unfair to you. Chang Mo glanced down at the chain, frowning in thought. So this is the chain that can suppress all emotional powers. But oddly enough, he could feel a strange energy surging from the chain and pouring into his body. Yeli noticed and raised her brows. Wait, are you absorbing the chain's energy? That metal was once infected by the emotion of rationality, she said. That's why the chain can suppress other emotion-based powers. But for someone like you, someone tied to emotional entities, this isn't a shackle. It's a full-course energy boost. Meanwhile, at the Donghai City Bureau of Emotional Management, Director Chu Weiming was on the phone, reporting, Miss Song, I found the person you asked about. He's been admitted to the second mental hospital as a patient. Since he's in the second hospital, he's under your jurisdiction now. Don't worry, Miss Song. I'll personally see to it that we bring him out. A sly smile crept into her voice. Well done. Chang Mo, not bad looking either. Before we extract that power of yours, we'll have plenty of time to enjoy ourselves. I can't wait to see that delicate face of yours twist in agony and despair.